Today we have a beautiful guest. She's already here, Noël. Thank you for coming today. My name is Kathi Roß, and I'm going to talk to Noël, but please feel free to talk and to ask questions throughout the whole event. My Europe, if you don't know, this is a series of events which we are hosting every once in a while. We are interactive, so please, again, ask questions. We invite young people from various countries and talk about the topics of their heart, what their special interest is. You can find us on YouTube afterwards, and we also have a large network who is organized at Aachen, and the Europe Directs from Essen, Duisburg, Dortmund, and Bocholt. We are going to do it a little bit different today. We're going to have this Q&A question tool, and we are going to select the questions, but again, just feel free to just raise your hand and ask questions directly. And if no one has a question now, we can start. So I give you the word, Noël. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to see you all today. I will just share my screen now.
Right.
Yes, and you can all see it?
Yes, you just gotta need to start the presentation. Yeah, that's
yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Nice. So I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'll talk about Denmark, my country, and about the Danish højskole tradition. First, I'll talk a little bit about who I am. I'll just make this smaller so you can all see. Yes. I'm 25 years old. I live in a small city in the southern part of Jutland in Denmark. And yeah, I put some pictures of myself and my life here on the right. It's some pictures of my life. My interest throughout my life has been very creative. In high school, I really loved having English, music, and drama. And then after high school, I took a degree in teaching, so where I teach Danish, English, and music. And I was also a secretary of Erasmus Student Network for a while, which I really enjoyed. And currently I'm studying pedagogy at UC Syd in Kolding, which is also close to where I was born. And I'm really enjoying that. My interests include my cat Milo, which you can see. He just turned a little over a year, so he's still very young. Then I also love amateur gardening. I've had a garden now for 2 years, and it's a lot of hard work, but it's also very rewarding. I love learning new things of all sorts and exploring myself in that way. And as you might have guessed, I really love music as well, both playing, singing, dancing, and listening. This was me with a guitar. That was a picture from when I studied music at the teaching course. And then I also have a special interest in musicals. This was a picture of one I instructed where I also acted in it. That was such a big experience in my life.
What play was that?
It was called Back to the 80s. It had like an amazing 80s theme. I really loved the 80s as well. And we were really not that many people in the crew, so we had to rewrite a lot of things. But we really made it work, and like we made it our own in that way. Yeah, but now let's go on to how can I like that. Yes, the location of Denmark is right here in the middle, and that's also a country in Danish. So there's Germany down here, and Poland, and Sweden, and Norway, and then the UK and the Netherlands. So it's right here in the middle of everything with a lot of water around it. And right down here, the small little island you can see, that's also part of Denmark. It's very far away from everything else, and they speak in their very own way there. It's very hard to understand for those of us who are not from Bornholm, which is, the island is called. But now I think it would be fun to try a little quiz. I have made 10 questions to test how much you know about Denmark. And yes, we will do the questions and then I'll explain the right answer and reveal it. And in the end, you'll know how much knowledge you had about Denmark beforehand. I've tried to add in some fun little questions as well that you might not know. I learned a lot myself, so yeah. Kathi, I don't know. Are you gonna?
Yeah, Sonia is gonna share it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So if you should be seeing the question now and just gonna.
Yes. So question 1, how big is the population of Denmark? Is it approximately 5 million, 6 million, or 7 million?
And we already see how many people are answering. So we're just gonna wait until it's gonna be like more than 10 people, I think.
Yes. You can't see the quiz poll on my screen, right?
Say it again.
You can't see the quiz poll on my screen, right? You can only see the
No, we can't see it on your screen, but I think everyone can see it on their own screen. So
awesome.
We should see everyone the same. If someone is not seeing it, so please tell us. But I think we can just talk about it.
Yes.
So everyone, yeah.
Yeah, you guessed very nicely, all of you. To be exact, the correct number is 6,019,866, with 1,224 of those being 100 years or older. So a lot of old people live in Denmark. And this was the statistics from October this year. So yeah, you did very nice. On to the next question. How many named islands does Denmark have? Is it 444? Is it 362? Is it 291?
I think we are delaying the question too.
I cannot start question 2. You do not see anything, right?
Yeah. Yes, now.
Yes, nice.
Thank you so much. So now again, everyone answers. But I think we need a little bit more context here.
Yes, well, there's a lot of very small islands in Denmark because there's so much water around it, which are not inhabited, which is only like very small little pieces of land. So technically there are a lot more. So that's why I put only the named ones. Technically there are over 1,000. I was very surprised about that as well. But yeah, the named ones where you can live and where you can travel to.
And how many did you visit throughout?
Oh, that's a pretty bad answer. I've only been to, I think, 7 or something. I've been to Samsø, which is a very nice one located next to Jutland. It's it's not too small. It's pretty big. They have their own school there, and It's very beautiful.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think everyone
answered. It's 444. And
wow, you guys are doing great.
Yeah, you really are. And obviously the most obvious ones are Funen, which is a small island right between Jutland and then Zealand, which is where Copenhagen is located as well. So yeah, there's a lot of islands in Denmark. And to question number 3, Denmark has a desert. Is that true or is that false?
I feel like if you're asking this question, there might be a hint.
That's true. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I just needed an extra question and put some random things in there. When I was writing the question originally, I misspelled it, so it said dessert. And we have a lot of desserts.
What's your favorite dessert?
I think like rødgrød med fløde. It's very classic answer. But it's like a lot of mixed red berries and then just add some cream. It's very nice in summer.
Sounds good. How do you spell that? Maybe you can put that in the chat so we can all Google it.
It's one of the questions that come in the quiz.
Actually. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
And the correct answer. Oh, no one saw anything. Oh, yes, correct answer. It's true-ish. It's called Råbjergmile, and technically it's not a desert. It's a shifting dune that's located in Skagen in the northern part of Jutland. And it's 1 kilometer long in every angle and covers about 2 square kilometers. And every year the dune moves 15 meters northeast. So one day we won't have a desert anymore. But I've been there. It's very cool. I enjoyed it a lot. I was also a child, so I really felt like I was in a desert.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's a lot of tourists over there.
Did you do like dune surfing?
I think you can actually. I mainly there are a lot of hills in the desert, so I just rolled down them without, just like laying on your side and then rolling all the way down. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You're doing very well, all of you. The next question is, what is the name of the current monarch? Is it Queen Margaret II? Is it King Frederik IX or King Frederik X? Oh, no one's voting for Margaret.
Okay, I think we can solve.
Yes. Oh, a lot of you voted for King IX. That is actually, I'll give you a little history tree of them. So King Frederik IX, that is Queen Margaret II's father. And then Frederik X, that is her son. And he is the current monarch. And he had his proclamation January 14th, 2024. Here he's seen with his queen, Mary. And yeah, this was a big moment because Queen Margaret II, she served as queen for 52 years. And every New Year's, she would host a television speech. So I remember very vividly in the New Year's 2023, I was at a New Year's party with some friends, and we tuned in to watch the New Year's speech. And then one of the friends just said, just for fun, oh, it would be such a plot twist if she just announced that she was giving the throne away to her son. And then she said it, and like all of us just gasped and took in the moment. Yeah. Then the following year, he had his first New Year's speech, and he did really well. And he's both him and Mary, they're very well liked by the people. They're very active and out and about and doing things. We also have this yearly thing called Royal Run, where both of them and their children attend. And it's very nice. They're very, like your normal humans that you could meet on the street, kind of.
So what do you think it plays a big role in your daily life? Or are you like here in the media like once in a while from them?
Well, Queen Mary, she's pretty present in the school area as well. She has something called the Mary Foundation, which is a foundation she has against loneliness and bullying in schools. Like I said, they travel around a lot in Denmark and greet a bunch of people. So yeah, they're pretty active, I'd say. Queen Margaret II, she had a more serious status. And yeah. Also their children, it was a big thing as well. Their oldest, he had his 18th birthday, where he invited a bunch of other 18-year-olds to a party at their royal place. And it was everyone from around Denmark. Like random people got an invite, and it was a huge media coverage in TV and everywhere. So yeah, they're very aware of their presence and try to make a huge impact.
But for you yourself, do you feel represented?
Well, I mean, I'm not a royalist or anything, but I think Queen Mary is very cool, and also, yeah, I mean, I appreciate them. Okay. Should we go on to the next
sharing? Yeah, I think so.
Yes. When did Denmark join the EU? Was it in 1961, in 1973, or was it in 1980?
So I think question 5 is waiting a little bit. So I think we're trying to fix the problem.
Yes. There we go.
There we go.
Kind of need the Kahoot music to make it more.
Right, we should have done it through Kahoot. But you can share some more interesting facts about yourself while we're waiting till everybody thought about it.
About myself. Yeah, what can I tell you? When I was studying at the teacher course, we have like an international teacher degree. And I made a lot of friends there at the international course, and I kind of got the title as the honorary international, which is really cool. And I feel like I was so honored to be part of that. And it's such a huge, like gives so many different views on everything in life when you meet people from different countries and their points of view. It's really great. I really appreciate that.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So let's see if all the international people answered correctly.
Yes. It was, oh, you did. Very nice. It was in 1973, the 1st of January. And 1961, which none of you voted for, that was when Denmark joined the European communities. So the earlier version, if you could say that, of the EU. Very nice. On to the next question. What sport was invented in Denmark in 1897? Was it handball, was it football, or was it rowing?
The real question is, are you playing this sport?
Well, I've tried football, certainly. A lot of Danish children try that when they're in school, but that really wasn't for me. I've tried rowing in like a fitness center on the rowing machine. I really appreciated that. That was very nice. And yeah, handball. I know a lot of people who play that and really enjoy that.
So I think everyone is done answering.
Yes, you are so correct. It was handball. I actually didn't know it was Danish, so I learned this while making the quiz. It was invented by Rasmus Nikolai Ernst and Holger Nielsen, and they both worked in the school area. So originally it started out as a game intended for school use, and specifically boy PE. But then obviously with time it grew and became very popular with everyone. And yeah, nowadays a lot of handball matches are covered via television. And yeah, Danes take it very seriously, almost as seriously as football. As you can see in the picture, they really go all in. And yeah, that's also a big part of the national identity to go crazy about sports like that. Yeah, very nice. Almost everyone picked that correctly. On to the next question. What is the type of pastry called in Danish? So this type of pastry that I put in the picture here, is it called Danishes, Danmarksbrød? Is it Vienna bread, wienerbrød? Or is it sugar cakes, sukkerkager?
That's interesting because I always had this question in my head.
Oh, really?
Because it's funny how different nations have different pastry names for the same thing, or like picking their names from somewhere.
I think so too.
So let's see, we have more diversity in the answers. So not everyone knows.
It is Vienna bread, like most of you voted for. And when I was researching this, I found out it was because there was this Danish pastry chef called Niels Christian Albeck, who went to Austria, where he tried this type of pastry and he like completely fell in love with it. So in the 1840s, he went back and brought I think actually it was 3 Austrian bakers with him who had specialized in this type of pastry making. And they opened the first bakery in Copenhagen that solely focused on making Vienna bread, and it became a huge success. And also, as a side note, the croissant is actually also a type of Vienna bread, like technically speaking. So croissants are actually Austrian and not French. I think a lot of French people might disagree with that, but yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Now we are all a little bit smarter.
Yeah. And it's called the croissant because of the shape. Because I researched, and croissant means crescent, as in like crescent moon. So that's why it's called that. So yeah, that was a side note. Question number 8, the food question. What is the national dish of Denmark? Is it fried pork with parsley sauce? The first picture you can see here, stegt flæsk med persille sauce. Is it red berry pudding with cream? Rødgrød med fløde, the one I spoke about earlier. Or is it open-faced sandwiches, smørrebrød? Now this picture, I have to say, these are just with roast beef. They come in many different shapes and sizes and toppings. You can also get them with like egg and shrimp and all kinds of things, ham as well. Yeah.
But is it like a specific dough most of the people use, or can you use it?
No, I think that it's very rule based with the smørrebrød, so you have to have rye bread underneath. And actually, to like make your own place where you sell smørrebrød, you have to take a specific degree in that called a smørrebrødsjomfru, because it's very specific with the detailing and the toppings. You have to make them very tall and pretty.
I see. And what about your favorite dishes of these 3 things? Which one do you like most?
I think it's the rødgrød, the red berry pudding. It's very nice. I also tried making the fried pork once. It's really hard because it is like slices this thick, and you have to, like, with the temperature on the frying pan, it has to be very at an accurate temperature, otherwise it just gets burned and then not really seared properly. And I didn't really have that technique, so it wasn't so good when I made it.
I see. So,
oh, and everyone voted. No, a lot of you thought it was a smørrebrød. It's also very popular, but fried pork is the correct answer. It was elected in 2014 by the former Minister of Food, Agriculture and Fisheries, Dan Jørgensen, on the basis of 60,000 votes. So, and it was loved by some, but it was also criticized by others afterwards because it excludes the people that don't eat pork for either religious or personal reasons. But yeah, a lot of people are crazy about it.
Interesting. Yeah, but I think with the bread, in my unpopular opinion, is that a lot of Germans just eat it, and when they import it from the northern countries when they go there. So that's why we think everyone eats it every day.
Smørrebrød is a very good answer. I think it's a lot more inclusive because of the different types you can get. So maybe we should try to have a re-election. Question number 9. What is the national animal of Denmark? Is it a pig? Is it a dog? Or is it a swan?
And to everyone, please feel free to ask questions as well. I think Noël would be happy to answer.
Definitely. Oh, and everyone answered. You are right. The correct answer is a swan. And that was elected a lot earlier, actually, than the national dish. That was in 1984 via a television program called Dus med dyrene, which was where it was like an animal specialist. And then people could send in questions about all sorts of animals. And then one day he decided that, oh, we should have a national animal. And it became the swan because it's present almost everywhere in Denmark where there's a little bit of water, and that's in a lot of places. And then also because of Hans Christian Andersen's the fairy tale, The Ugly Duckling. And yeah, Hans Christian Andersen, he's like a big national treasure as well with all of his fairy tales. So yeah. And also it looks a bit more majestic than than a pig or a dog. So yeah, I think that's also why it was elected, probably.
Maybe.
Now the last question. How many times has Denmark won the Eurovision Song Contest? Is it 0 times? Is it 3 times? Or is it 2 times?
We are undecided. Are you watching the Eurovision Song Contest every year?
Yes, I really enjoy it to see like how many different acts there are. Oh, and everyone already voted. Okay. Should we see the answer?
Yes, please.
It's 3 times actually. I only remembered it as 2. So those of you who voted 2 is also okay. But the first one we had was in 1963 in London with the song Dansevise by Grete and Jørgen Ingman. And then we had it again in the year 2000 in Stockholm by the Olsen brothers with Fly on the Wings of Love. And then last time we won was in Malmö in 2013 with Emily de Forest and Only Teardrops. Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question also, I know a lot of Danes, for some, Eurovision is like Christmas almost. So they host like big parties where they make delicious food and have a bit to drink and really make it a huge watch party. It's very nice. I've never tried being part of one of those parties, but yeah. So that was the end of the quiz. How did you all do? Do you have nice results?
Yeah, maybe you can raise your hand if you did a good job or if you had correct answers. I don't know.
Oh,
but I love your presentation.
Thank you.
It's really shiny.
Thank you so much. Oh, nice. A lot of you are celebrating. That's good. Nice that you enjoyed the quiz. Now on to some Danish traditions and holidays, because we have a few that are a bit strange. When we start to the left here, you can see these little brown things. They're called flødeboller or cream puffs. They're actually not filled with cream. They're filled with whipped egg whites and sugar. And then they're covered in chocolate and maybe shredded coconut. I think they're called Schokokuchen or something in German. But it's sort of a tradition that when you're a child and it's your birthday in school, that you buy these and then you bring them and then you give one to all of the kids in your class and maybe your teacher too, if they're sweet. You can also, if your mom or your dad or your parents, if they have the energy for it, sometimes you can also bake a cake and then bring that. But it's a big tradition to bring something when it's your birthday. And yeah, then we also have this next photo with the with the snowman. That is fastelavn, which is kind of the Danish Halloween, where kids dress up and then they hit this wooden barrel until kind of like a piñata until it explodes, and then there's candy inside.
How many kids are beaten one of those?
I think it's very popular to do it in kindergartens and also in the younger grades in schools. So I think almost every child in Denmark has tried it. The teachers are usually also very involved, and they also dress up to support the craziness of it.
But it's real wood from the outside.
Sometimes it depends on the place. I remember one year when I was a child, it was a wooden one. And, kids aren't that strong, so we couldn't break it. So we had to get the dad to try to help out. And it was hard for them even too. So some institutions also choose to have one in cardboard instead.
I'm imagining like 30 little kids with like...
Yeah, because also you take turns, so it's only one person hitting it at a time.
Oh, okay.
So it takes a while.
But it sounds like a fun thing to do. So when does it take place?
It's a bit different, but it's usually in February at some point. And back in the day, like way back, you used to put a black cat inside the barrel to warn off bad luck. You don't do that anymore, thankfully. But
like with real cats?
Yeah, a real cat. Because the black cats were associated with witches and witchcraft, and that was evil. So yeah, I'm glad we don't do that anymore. I had a black cat when I was a child, so I think I would have been very sad. But yeah, because of this cat tradition, the kid who breaks the barrel gets to be crowned as cat king or queen, and then they get a little crown on. So that's the only cat part that's still part of the fastelavn tradition.
Did you ever get the cat between the what was it called? Cat king?
Yeah, cat king or queen. I did actually. Because there's also a tradition that usually institutions have by 2 crowns, and then the kid who breaks it gets to crown either their king or their queen. And there was one boy that broke it once, and then he chose me as his queen. That was very sweet, and I was very happy about that.
How old were you back then?
I think I was around 8 or 9.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah. And then the buns you can see underneath here, they're called fastelavnsboller, which is just normal yeast bun dough around it. And then they're filled with vanilla pudding or cream, and then with some icing on top. And you usually eat those too around fastelavn.
Okay.
And then this picture here next to that is me when I had my confirmation. And confirmation, that's not a Danish tradition, but the Monday following that's called Blue Monday. That is that day you're off school, so then you have the entire day to try some fun things out with your friends. Me and my friends, we went to Legoland and just had a blast there on our own. And yeah, some other ones from our class went go-karting. And it's usually a very fun day that a lot of teens look forward to. So yeah. And then all the food you can see on top of Legoland, that's called a påskefrokost, so an Easter lunch. And that is, we also have Christmas lunches. It's a bit different food that's at Christmas lunches, but yeah, Christmas and Easter lunches, they are usually a lot of people do them, and it's the kind of event where you invite all your family or all your friends. And then you eat a bunch of food together. As you can see here, there's both some normal bread and some rye bread and some tarteletta. It's like a butter dough with some chicken and asparagus stew inside, and then some eggs and shrimps and some
more like a quiche then, yeah.
sort of, not really, they're not baked.
Okay.
You buy the dough the dough cups. You can just buy them, and then you don't really warm them up. And then you just then you add the chicken and asparagus inside the cup, and then you just eat it like that. And then you usually also eat a lot of fish at Easter lunches. You can see in the right corner. That's 3 different types of herring that's been pickled. The yellow one is a very typical one that's with curry. And then I think there's one with some onion and some plain pickled herring. And then you have some meatballs and some fish fillets as well. And yeah, usually you also, and then some salmon as well, and some liver pate. That's what in this big bowl. And you usually drink beer and then also some stronger liquor. Not really shots, but it's like they're called gammeldansk, and we call it snaps. It's very strong, and they usually pass it along around the table, and then you have to down it. And yeah, a lot of people have a lot of fun during these lunches. And yeah.
Because what is inside of it?
What's inside of what?
The last one you mentioned. Can you translate that to English again?
The liver pate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is there something which is like really spicy or something?
Spicy? I think that would be the pickled herring. Maybe that's the spicy.
Oh, okay.
And there's also
you said everyone's passing it around, and
that's a liquor. So it's very
okay, really strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
We even have like a little song called like Haps, 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 nu skal vi have snaps, and then you down it like a shot. So yeah. And then this photo of this man covered, he's covered in cinnamon. That was my buddy Patrick, and he's at his 25th birthday. Because when you turn 25 in Denmark and you're not married, then tradition says you have to be covered in cinnamon. Why? I don't know, but it is a tradition. Especially in Jutland, where I'm from, people go all out like this and cover you head to toe in cinnamon. But I think in some places like Zealand or like the bigger cities, usually people are nicer and just give you cinnamon rolls on your birthday. It's also a bit more sustainable like that. A lot of people drive to Germany and then buy these big like kilo bags of cinnamon for this event. It just goes everywhere.
And is it like a surprise? They just called you somewhere, or is it like, oh, come here at this time?
I think it's like a surprise. Like they know it's gonna happen. But it's kind of like a, how do you say? It's like a hen party, or like a stag do. So it's implied that it's gonna happen, but the exact plans are not planned out by you, but by your friends who are coordinating it.
I see.
And then if you're still not married by 30, it gets even worse. Then you get covered in pepper.
That might be hurtful.
Yeah. As you can see here, Patrick, he's also like, he has some goggles on and a face mask, so you don't inhale it because that's dangerous, obviously. So yeah, usually your friends are very nice and take care of you. But there's also been photos of people who tie their friends to like a light pole just out in the city somewhere and then throw the cinnamon at you. So yeah, it really depends on your friend group. You have to check that before you announce that you're turning 20.
Before finding friends.
Yeah. Select your friends wisely. And then the last two photos, that's when you graduate high school and become a student. So what I'm wearing in the photo is called a studenterhue, like a student cap. That's our equivalent of the American square one. And there's all sorts of traditions about what you're supposed to do with that. I think there's something about if you get like the best grade in your last exam, then you have to bite in the shadow over the head. And yeah, there's all sorts of traditions. We also have like studenteruge, which is the week like you have your graduation and then studenteruge starts and you have an entire week to go crazy and enjoy your freedom. This truck you can see down here, that's called studenterkørsel. That happens right after your official graduation event at your school. So all of these trucks, they wait outside and then you get in. And you usually make signs as well that's on the side. This one says, high school was filled with pain, but when it comes to drinking, we're the experts. Hashtag we are the future of Denmark, with a typo. Usually it's slogans like this, or it could also be one honk and the boys drink in two honks and the girls drink, something like that. And I wasn't on it personally, but you studento, that's basically where you drink all the time. Also during this this travel with the truck, and you blast music and then you drive around to the students' homes, and there your parents have like made some appetizers and maybe a fun activity too, before you then get in the truck and then you drive to the next home.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
And is it organized by the school or just by everyone, like on their own?
So it starts, it picks up everyone right after the official graduation process at your high school, and then you drive out to everyone's homes in the class.
And the hats is this like your particular school hat, or
no,
is
it's everywhere.
The same of the whole Denmark?
Yeah, it's whole Denmark.
They look like that. Okay.
Yeah. You can get like different types of trucks as well. I think this is some sort of earlier military vehicle or something. Sometimes you can also rent horse ride carriages. Also, like obviously they can't go as quick, so it's an even longer drive you have to do. But you can also rent, I think I've also seen some tractors with like the vehicles on where you're supposed to transport cows. There are a lot of different versions, and you usually decide in your high school class what you're going to go for.
Oh, I see. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
It's interesting things that I wasn't aware of. If anyone has questions, please feel free to type in the questions in the chat or ask the question by raising your hand.
Do we have 2 questions in the chat?
Yeah, I think we already answered them.
Oh, yes.
I already
always have the same shape and colors. Does that depend on the high school? You can actually you can customize on the website because you design it yourself technically. So this red color, that's the colors are divided by the type of school. The red one is for high schools, and then there's a dark blue one that's for business high schools, and then there's a light blue one for if you go to it's called HF. That's like a shortened version of a high school where it only takes 2 years. Otherwise, it takes 3 years. And yeah, they have different. They have exams in everything. With both business and normal high schools, you only have exams in certain subjects that gets picked out. So in some ways, HF students have it harder than the rest of us. And then you can see, you can't really see in the back, you usually have your name embroidered in. It costs a bit extra as well. You have to buy this hat on your own, and they come in different price ranges.
And how much is the hat, like, on average?
I think the cheapest one they have is it's around 500 kroners. And what is that in euros? That is.
But you keep it for your lifetime, right?
Yes, unless you're very unlucky and you lose it in your Studenterwohl. Let me just check. And then you can also see there's like a little red circle thing right in the middle. There you can choose your own symbol. I chose the theater masks, like the happy and the sad one, because drama was my best memory of high school. But like the classic design, that's either with the cross, like for Christianity, or the moon and stars. If yeah, they also have like for different religions, and they have for the international like medical sign. I don't know what that's called in English. But a lot of people use that as well. And then you can also, there are a lot of different symbols. There's also like a globe if you had like some international course or something. So yeah, there are a lot of options for customization. Let me just see, 500 kroners in euros, that's like 67 euros. But you can get some that are a lot more expensive. I think I had the cheapest one because it wasn't real leather. But yeah.
We have another question.
Yes.
The Danish national dish and the national animal of Denmark are quite recent ones. Are there any other national symbols that are older or precede these historical?
That's
historical
a good question. I think maybe that would be our flag then, I guess. There's this myth behind it that it like the way we got it was that after a battle it ascended from the heavens and then landed, and then that's how we got it. But yeah, I think that's the earliest national symbol we have, if that answers your question. I was also debating because I think Lego, a lot of people associate that with Denmark as well. And it was invented by a Dane, but there was something about the design wasn't actually made by him. That's something he stole from some British design. So yeah, I didn't add that in here because I didn't feel like it was 100% Danish, but I could be wrong.
Let's see. So we have another question.
Yes.
Ruben, please. You raise your hand. Can you turn on your microphone? Is that possible for you? Okay, I'm trying to, but I think you're allowed to, or you're not. Okay, you don't. Okay.
Okay.
Like we would just go on.
Yes.
Oh,
That's not the one. Let me just find my screen again. here it is. Okay. Oops. Wait, what did I do now? Yes. Yes. Maybe some of you have heard the word hygge. It roughly translated to coziness. And actually, it is not originally a Danish word, it's Norwegian, and where it originally meant something close to well-being. And it, in the Danish way, it can be defined as creating a warm atmosphere and enjoying the good things in life with good people. So it can be everything from warm blankets or hugs from friends and loved ones, or cozying up with a loved one to watch a movie. And the hygge concept, that's a huge part of the national Danish identity. As we've already talked about, the påskefrokost, Easter lunch, can also be hygge, and the studenterkørsel as well, and fastelavn. It's really where you meet up with people and just enjoy life. I think I've seen books written about hygge in English, so it's a big fascination for a lot of people, I think. And then now I'd like to talk about this man right here called Nikolai Frederik Severin Grundtvig. He was many things. He was a poet, a priest, a historian, a politician, a pedagogue, and a philologist. And he mainly started out working as a priest, and there he had personal crises in the beginning of his professional life, within his understanding of Christianity and where he should place himself and man in general. And yeah, he also wrote a lot of psalms and poesies. And then in 1832, he had a mental breakthrough when he came to the conclusion that man, simply from creation and without faith, had a divine status. So basically that man was enough just from being born. And then after this breakthrough, he founded the idea of the School for Life that focused on a free general education, or dannelse, Bildung. And he called them højskoler, or folk high schools in English. And those would serve to be the schools of life, whereas universities then would be the schools of science, and children's schools as a place to learn practical skills and how to function as a human. And højskoler would also serve as a way to educate those without an education, because elections just started happening around this time, and a lot of higher people were worried that, you know, the dumb farmers wouldn't be able to understand how the world worked. So they really were fond of this idea, because then in the beginning it was like folk high schools were really minded at these farmers, so they could come and learn about the world and life. So yeah, the commoner would, through history and the importance of community, learn to take responsibility for and be part of the future of the country. So in 1844, the very first højskole was founded, and that was called Rødding Højskole. And that was a very big thing. It's still a functioning højskole to this day, actually, and it's very close to where I live. So I've visited a couple of times. And then to explain what a højskole is in more modern language, it's a school where you focus on learning what you typically don't learn at a normal school. So it's learning about the impact of community, exploring new interests, and seeing yourself in a new light. And it's a non-formal adult education, so there are no exams and no tests and no stresses in that sense. And it's lessons based on dialogue and mutual learning between teachers and students. And that's a lot of singing together. That's part of his philosophy as well. And højskoler have their own songbooks as well, with a lot of his psalms in them, but also other people. And as time has progressed, also newer songs in it. And it's studying, living, eating, partying, and cleaning with your fellow students. And usually has a duration of 4 to 6 months, but they can, however, also be shorter. And it's about relearning to enjoy things without worrying about grades or performance or end goals, all of these things that you learn in school that are important. Just enjoying a thing because you enjoy it, not because you want to be the best in it or have to learn it because of a test or something like that. And then there are also usually different types of højskoler. They have like a general theme, all of them. So it can either be a general or Grundtvigian, I guess that's how you pronounce it. That's where you immerse yourself in one subject or more. And they're very general and not that specific. And they also have Christian or spiritual schools where you focus on faith and spirituality. And you have gymnastics or sports, where around 50% of the course is dedicated to sports and physical education. Then there are lifestyle højskoler, where you focus on health, diet, exercise, and personal development. Usually you go there if you have like a problem and you want to turn your life around. And then
what is the typical age range where people like join these schools?
It's typically 18 to 24 or 25, but it's also very common to have older people there as well, like in their 30s or 40s. So it's really for everyone who's 17 and a half years and up. So you can go anytime in your life.
And is it like a boarded school or is it usually?
Yes.
No, yeah, okay.
And you live at the school and do everything there. You can also go home and visit, obviously, but everything happens at the school. And
so it's like a fun time.
Very fun time. I'll get into it later. I have examples of my own stay at my højskole, because I went to one once. Then there are schools for senior citizens and also for the youth. For the senior citizens, they're usually defined with shorter courses because usually seniors don't really have the same opportunities to just move somewhere new for 6 months. They usually own a home and it's, they can't just leave it. And then for the youth, that's from 16 to 19 years. Those are an offering for teens without an education or as a way to prepare them for an exam. And then there are specialized schools, which can be anything from filmmaking to design, but where you really focus on like one thing. However, every højskole must have a generalized aspect as well, as that's part of the philosophy. For the prices and practicality, for the longer courses, the prices vary depending on your subjects and if you want to travel during your stay. It ranges from between 160 to 335 euros per week. A semester usually lasts anywhere from 19 to 24 weeks, but the price is including accommodation, food, lessons, and materials. So you don't have to buy any books or anything like that. And you can either pay for your entire stay in one go, or you can divide it into 4 installments throughout your semester. And usually the schools are very flexible with figuring out a way for you to be able to afford it. And the schools also include laundry rooms where you can wash and dry your clothes for, I think my højskole, it cost like €3 for one load of laundry. And then you also eat there, obviously, all your meals, they're part of the price as well. And most schools also offer a very open-minded kitchen staff when it comes to allergies or diets. So you should be covered very nicely. And now this one, do we have any questions? No, we don't. Okay, good. This one is the one I stayed at. It's called Bosei Folk High School. And it's located in this very beautiful grove, as you can see, with a lot of beautiful forest around it and a lake. It's very magical. I took a lot of morning walks around the school before the lessons began. It was very nice way. It was like the best way to start off your day. And as you can see right here in the middle, that's the main entrance. And can you see my cursor, by the way?
Yeah, we can see your cursor.
Nice. Okay. And then over here, that's where you live with your friends. And this building here, that's usually for guests, because they do a lot of courses that happen at the same time as your course. So it's good to have a lot of rooms. And then here is a big gym hall and a dojo. And then down here is a swimming pool. So they have a very nice selection of activities you can do. And then here's some like outdoor buildings with stuff for the gardeners and all kinds of practical things. You're not really in there as a student. And then this building here, that's actually the first building that was built on this property. And it worked as a sanatorium originally for tuberculosis. So it has a very nice piece of history to it. It doesn't work as that anymore, obviously. Now you just have some of your lessons here. And here you have the dining hall where you eat all your meals. And it's very nice. And then over here, that's where the principal used to live earlier in its existence, but no one really lived there anymore. So it's mainly for storage now. But these buildings here, that's where most of the teachers live. So they live on campus, which is also very nice and makes you feel safe and everything.
And where's the kitchen?
The kitchen, that's a good question. That's actually in the basement of this main building. So they have an elevator to bring stuff up to the dining hall.
And you all eat together, kind of thing,
Yeah.
with the teachers, yeah.
Yeah, the teachers as well. I think they pay like a small fee to have all their meals then covered. Usually they eat breakfast in their own homes because they don't really want to be part of our lives that much. Maybe early in the morning is a bit too much, but for lunch and dinner, they usually come around. So that's very nice. And a quick history lesson of Bosei. It's a very specific folk high school, because originally it was owned by Tokai University in Japan. And the way it all started was Dr. Shigeyoshi Matsumae. He went to Denmark in the 1930s and visited some folk high schools here and became deeply fascinated with the concept. So then after World War II, he founded Tokai University, which is one of Japan's most successful universities and research institutions. And then in 1988, he opened Tokai University boarding school in Bosei, Denmark, which is now the højskole. But back then, it served as a way to have Japanese high schoolers come and take their high school diploma in Denmark and prepare them for university life back in Japan. Then in 2008, the school was handed over to Denmark and to be turned into a højskole in honor of late Dr. Shigeyoshi Matsumai's wishes, because he had passed at this time. And yeah, ever since then, it's been its own independent institution. But the connection to Tokai University is still very much present to this day, with Tokai University students staying at Bosei every year. It's a special agreement they have. And then when we have study trips, we usually also visit Tokai University. So that's very special.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. They also have pictures of it at the school, like the whole history from sanatorium to now højskole.
So when did you visit the school? Like when were you part of the school?
It was in the fall semester of 2022. So it's been a couple of years already, but it doesn't feel like that long. But yeah, it was from August 10th to a little before Christmas time in 2022.
And okay. I think you are gonna present this to us, but can you like point out a daily routine you have or something like this, like a day in the life?
Yes, I actually have a picture of my old schedule later in the slideshow, so I can tell you everything I did in a week for a period of time. But yeah, it was just, I have nothing else to compare it to, really. It was a period of time where I was around friends all the time and just did all the things that I found interesting and didn't have to worry about, because I'm a person that worries a lot about exams and results and grades and all of that. So that was also, I had just passed my teacher exam, so I was very used to the university mindset. So going here was really, it was a breath of fresh air. I was very burned out when I joined. Then after our semester, I was filled with new energy and light in my eyes. So yeah, as we talked about earlier, you live at the school. This is a picture of two of our hallways. You live with a roomie, and then we had some højskoler have bathrooms inside the room, so you only have to share a bathroom with your roomie. But here is some shared bathrooms at the end of the hallway, which is gender neutral. And then there's a shower section, which is closed off, and those are obviously divided by male, female. And then there's a laundry room and a lot of space to hang up your clothes as well, and some common areas as well. And a lot of things can happen when you live in a hallway with all of your friends, because it's fun. Like, none of us really knew each other before we joined, but you get so close with these people because you're just around them all the time. So it can lead to a lot of late night shenanigans when you're all like super tired from the day or the week. We have a lot of inside jokes, some very close friendships, and special memories. Especially, I really love the community in our hallway, because me and my roomie Stella, that's the red-haired one here, our room was, as you can see, it was right in the middle of the hallway, and we always left our door open. So and Stella was really the most extroverted one of the both of us. So sometimes I would come back to our room after my lessons and I'd just find people in our room just chilling. And it was really awesome. Obviously, if you're not that extroverted, then you can also make agreements with your roomie that you don't do that. Yeah, but it led to a lot of feelings of belonging and being part of a community. And yeah, me and Stella also had a lot of weird late night conversations as we were falling asleep. because Stella had actually been there a semester before me. So in the first few weeks of our semester, I would always ask her like a billion questions. And it was really obscure questions that she couldn't answer. So she would just crack up about that and just, Noel, I don't know, stop asking me, you'll figure it out. But yeah, and it's also an excellent way to prepare you for life. A lot of people go to a højskole also to try to live on your own, to live away from your parents and, get the routine going with washing your clothes and cleaning your room, house. So it's a really nice preparation like that. And also if you're going to university afterwards and you have to live with a roomie there, then you've tried it at your højskole. So yeah. And this is an example of what your room could look like. I don't have an overview of the entire room, but as you might can imagine, there's one bed on one side of the room, and then there's some cupboards and storage opportunities, and then on the other side of the wall, it's the complete same. So you don't sleep like right next to your room. You don't worry about that. And yeah, there's also plenty of opportunities to customize your room to your liking. This was my side of the room after a few weeks into our semester. It's really fun. I always kept my side of the room very neat and tidy, and then Stella, her room was always like her side of the room was very messy. And the people who hung out in our room, they always like thought it was so funny. And then one day I woke up and I hadn't made my bed, and then Stella also like woke up after me. She found me like after breakfast and just asked me if I was okay. And I asked her, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Oh, your room is like your side of the room is a mess. What is wrong with you?" And yeah, you just get these weird like inside jokes with your roomie. I was also very happy with Stella. We worked well together, even though we were different.
And you're still in contact with her?
Yes, I'm still in contact with a lot of people from my semester.
That's so cool. So I just wanted to point out that we only have 10 minutes left. So if you guys have questions for Noel while she's here,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Noel.
It's okay. I prepared a lot. Should I stop sharing?
No. You can go on. I just wanted to point out that.
Just let me know if any questions pop up.
Yes.
So you usually also are divided into family groups, which is your family away from home. And you get a specific teacher assigned as your family teacher. This was Line, our teacher. She was very happy with us. So before we left after a semester, she made us all of these personalized badges. That was so sweet. And then with your family group, you have like recurring chats with how you're doing during the semester, and you clean specific areas. And you also have kitchen duty where you help the kitchen with bringing up the food and doing the dishes. But it can also be a lot of fun stuff like making cakes together here. As you can see, we did that one night. And then here is an example of a weekly schedule. Breakfast was always 7:30 to 8.
That's early.
Yes, so you have to wake up early. And then we had cleaning in our specific areas, and then the lunch, and then assemblies where you learn about specific things. That's part of the Grundtvig philosophy. And then dinner from 6 to 6:45. And as you can see, I had karate and K-pop dance, and I also tried. They had a fitness instructor course where you can get certified afterwards, but I quit that because it wasn't really for my taste. And then I had Japanese and some dance fitness and some Dungeons and Dragons, and some Hygge where I spoke with the Japanese students. It's very nice, and some archery and comic book creation, and more Japanese. So as you can see, a schedule can be very, you can really customize it to your own liking.
And from how many things could you choose? Because these are like various things.
Yeah.
From
And
fitness to
usually,
Japanese.
yeah.
Indeed.
You could really like choose your own from all of these options. And they had 3 different schedule periods. So where they offered like some of the subjects like Japanese and martial arts, they were always there as an option to choose. But the smaller ones like for example, archery, that was only there for some periods. So you could like there were some surprise ones that you hadn't tried before. You could choose in different schedule periods, which is really nice. And yeah, like I already said, it's opportunities to learn new things. You can see me here when I tried karate and really fell in love with it. And here's Stella doing some forgot what that's called, but you can see here in the back
like some
paddle
surfing,
yes, of
like,
some sort, and some Japanese here, and
surfing maybe.
Yeah, and outdoor cooking was also very popular.
And
these people here, they were so insane. They asked the outdoor teacher to blindfold them and then drive them somewhere they didn't know and drop them off. And then they had to find their way back to the school without any phones or anything.
Wow. And did they make it?
What?
Did they make it?
They made it. I think one of them had a phone to call him in case of emergencies. They didn't make it the entire way home before the time ran out. So he went out and picked them up, but they went further than they expected they'd go. So yeah. And like I also already touched upon, there's social dining and singing. This is us singing the Pokemon theme song. And then we had normal food. This was our like brunch breakfast on Sundays. And then we also had a lot of cupcakes every now and then. A lot of the people at my course loved to bake, so that was nice for the rest of us.
Yeah, because how does the weekends look like when you have a tight schedule like that?
Yeah, well, that was also just me that chose. You didn't have to choose a subject in every time slot. You just had to choose in the ones with the colored ones here. Like that was obligatory, but otherwise you could choose your own how much you wanted to have. But yeah, in the weekends it was a lot looser. Sometimes there'd be like workshops in certain things, like an air track, or I think there was a boxing coach there to give us a boxing course. But it can also just be going to the nearby city Bosei with your friends and eating ice cream, or having fun, or having a bonfire, as you can see here. And yeah, or partying. That also usually happens in the weekends.
Wow, that sounds so nice.
Yeah. Then here you can see that's a tradition that they had at Bosei called Bosei Jin t-shirt, which is basically being a good Bosei Jin is being a like cleaning up after yourselves, being an active part of the community and looking out for your friends. And then every week it would get passed on to another student. The first time the teachers picked out the first student, and then that student had to give it to the next one that they thought would be a good Bosei Jin. So here is Emil that passed it on to Sebastian, who was really happy. I also got it once, and I was so proud of that. And yeah, as you can see, a lot of friends and community-based activities happening. Here was a football team that was formed. and we went to see them play against Bosei Football Club, and it was really nice to just cheer them on and be there for them. Then then we also made a meme page for our semester. So really all kinds of things can happen. Down in the left corner, that's when we had a fire drill in the beginning that said that we had to be very careful with spray deodorants and perfumes because the fire detect equipment was very sensitive. But then one day one of us forgot. So then the fire truck came, and this is like a 6,000 kroner selfie. So we made the best out of the situation, and I think the ones that did it got reprimanded.
Oh, wow.
Then there's also study trips. This is from my study trip to Hemsedal in Norway, which was very nice and beautiful. I learned that I absolutely don't like skiing, but it was the first time I tried it. I really loved walking around and just taking in the scenery. And yeah, this was all of us, like right as we waited on our bus to go home. So we were all super tired, but we had a great time nonetheless. And then there are a lot of special memories happening as well. This here to the left was the most special memory for me, karate graduation, where we met. This was our sensei, Morten. Every week he'd come to the folk high school to teach us in the dojo, but then for the graduation we drove to his dojo in Køge, which is a bit further away. So we one of the other students at our semester let us borrow their car, so we drove there, and it went really well. And these people are the ones I think I'm the closest with to this day. We had a lot of memories together. Then at the end of your semester, there's also usually a gala where you dress up really nicely. We had like a masquerade theme. So this is me and my beautiful gala partner, Jonas. We went with face masks and sunglasses to be funny. And this is me and Stella. And then we also celebrated Christmas a bit together before we all went home. This is Hannah and Emma making a gingerbread house. And even after your semester, there's still community happening. We have something called Bosei, which is all the former or current students who practice martial arts. They do shows together. I've seen them, they're amazing. Then our semester usually also meets up in summer and go to theme parks or to like a private home and have fun. And honestly, it's like we've never been apart.
Okay, maybe she's lacking connection. Okay, you were gone for a sec.
Oh, I was gone?
Yeah.
When did I stop talking?
But no, it's fine. You were only there, like gone for like 10 seconds or something.
Oh, okay, good. I think the last thing I said was
we almost reached the end of the meeting anyways.
Yes, that's good. I am also done now.
Thank you so much for introducing us to this whole new world.
Of course.
Dänemark. And I think we all want to go to højskole now.
Yes, I can really recommend it.
So yeah, if anyone has questions, please ask them now, because otherwise we're going to end the meeting soon. I'm just going to wait. Maybe we can wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. I think you get a lot of applause here. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing everything. Yeah, maybe one more question from me. So you particularly chose this one because you were interested in martial arts in Japan, or
actually Actually, I knew nothing about martial arts before I joined. I joined because I've always loved languages, and just like being able to learn Japanese only for like half a year. I thought that was a like spectacular opportunity. But then I tried karate and I just fell in love with it, and yeah, and that was really like a big event in my life that kind of changed me as a person, I think. So you can have an idea when you go into a semester at a højskole and then realize that you learned something completely new about yourself.
I bet. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. That sounds quite nice. Well, I think no more questions. So see you on the next event. Stay tuned and thank you for joining. We'll say